Come on. Come on, YouTube.
Okay, I think I got it.
Yep, we got it. Awesome. Let's go live. Going live. You're live. Hello, everyone. I'm Santiago, and today I'm gonna be testing Project Wingman on the 1050 Ti, 750 Ti, 570, maybe the 580, and then the 1650 Super. How are you guys doing? I'm already flying around. Let me pause the game and show you. While we wait for the Cyberpunk 2077 patch, I wanted to play something else, so thanks to Humble Games for providing a copy of the game. So let's go to the video settings. We are on 1080p on the highest settings, and I'm going to try and fly around a little bit and try to find a part with more stuff into the ground or something like that. So let's continue. Hello guys, how's it going? Hi, hola, ¿cómo andan? ¿Todo bien? Todo bien por suerte de ustedes. So guys, as you can see here, we're getting 60 frames, but this is because there's nothing. We're all over the water, basically. Hi guys. So as I was saying, this is over the water, nothing in the ground. It's super basic level. This is the first one, so I'm probably going to go into the more free fighting part after a few seconds. Let me see if I get closer there. There's also a first person camera, which I don't particularly like. I mean, it'll be great for VR. There's a VR mode here, but personally I prefer third person. Good morning. How's it going? So yeah, anyways, while you wait for the new Ace Combat game, you can play this. Since I liked Ace Combat 7 quite a bit, I wanted to try this indie game. As you can see, this doesn't look that great in this part. Maybe it's not meant to be so close to the ground, but still. I was expecting a little bit more there. So yeah. Anyways. So this part here, as you can see, runs completely fine because there's not going on really. We got this small piece of terrain. There's barely any clouds. So I'm probably going to switch to another level. This is the very first one. So yeah, let's give that a try. Yeah, I'm going to do Cyberpunk once the new patch releases. I'm waiting for that. So in the meantime, I'll do something else, as I was saying at the very start. Still waiting for patch 105. So be patient once we get there. So let's do Conquest. Cyberpunk 3088, what? So let's try normal difficulty. And we're going straight away to a bigger map. Okay, this looks alright. Flares, confirm. I'm doing fine, what about you? Long time no see. It's been a few days. So yeah, this should have more clouds, a bigger piece of terrain. Yeah, I've seen the PS4 performance there. Pretty disappointing, to say the least. Alright. Although it's pretty weird because I already tried this before, but there were way more clouds. Yeah, I'm not sure what's up with that. Let me check super quickly. I think it's randomized. Is 32 GB of RAM reasonable for new builds or a complete waste of money? It depends on what you do. Personally, I would say it's a little too much because, I mean, if you're not doing After Effects or simulations or something like that, I don't think it's worth getting that amount. I had 32 GB before and it was a waste because I was only doing basic video editing, gaming. If you're doing just gaming or something like that, I don't think it's worth it. personally. If you're doing gaming, 16 gigabytes is more than enough, at least right now. So yeah, that would be my advice. Just make sure to have enough for the thing you're doing. Because again, if you're doing After Effects, simulations, something like that, it can use a lot of RAM. But other than that, there's not much of a reason. Let's go down. Okay, this is more demanding now. So let's go all the way down, like a madman. How are you? I'm doing fine, boy. How's it going, man? Good seeing you. So, you're waiting for fiber optic internet for 10 days now. They say they will come after 7 to 10 days. You're going to download so much stuff. Well, yeah. I mean, it's super fast. I have fiber, and that's how I do 4K live streams. So, guys, as you can see, the ground, super low resolution. I know it's an indie developer, but still, doesn't look great. Look at that ground texture. So yeah, I know it's meant to be flying super high and start fighting other jets, but still. So as you can see now, in a more demanding part, we're getting 30 frames per second. So let's do some tweaks, because this style of game, 60 frames, in my opinion, is necessary. I'm using a controller, by the way. So we go to video, and we're going to lower the post-processing to low. Then the cloud resolution is super important, so lower it to 368. Let's apply the changes. So we jump all the way up to 51 by just doing that. And we lower the shadows to medium. Let's see what effects that has. So we jump from 51 to 52, a very small increase. Let's try low shadows. Yeah, let's keep it on medium, and the effects on medium as well. Alright. So a mix between medium and high, I will call this. Maybe lower the draw distance a little bit. Okay, so that did it. A mix between medium and high. So mid-high settings. Still, the graphics, I'm a little disappointed. But hey, it seems to be running fine in general. So 1080p, medium to high settings, as you can see here. Let's see if we can maintain 60s in this part. Let's get closer to the ground. Yeah, as you can see, it looks pretty samey, but again, kind of makes sense. It's an indie company. But I was expecting a little bit more. Although remember, you're not going to be flying super low altitude. It's the same building over and over. What the heck? Okay. Fair enough. So yeah, as you can see, if you're close to the ground, it won't look great, because it's meant to be you flying around, fighting in the air. So you're meant to see that from a distance, but still, I was expecting more. Yeah, from a distance it looks a lot better. So yeah, anyways. Usually the bad performance is here, when you're flying around close to the ground. Let me crank up the cloud resolution. Alright, that's a little bit better. Oh yeah, it seems to be running pretty well so far. Although I don't know where the enemy is. Maybe over there. Let's try and get over there. Yeah, oh my god, it's Santiago. Yeah, it's me. How are you doing, guys? There you are. Okay, destroyed. Great. So yeah, my advice here would be, if you're not going to be super close to the ground, increase the settings to high. But if you're going close to the ground and trying to maintain 60s basically all the time, consider lowering it to medium or high settings. A mix between medium and high should be okay. Also, you can do first person like this, but it usually makes me a little bit sick. But hey, you can do it. It destroys my... yeah. It makes me sick to do first person with a jet. It moves a little too much. So yeah, anyways. Let's try with the... yeah, but as you can see, guys, when you're doing this fighting in the air, instead of being close to the ground, you're basically over 60 all the time. The thing is, when you look into the distance and there is some geometry going on, let me get closer to the ground to show you. That is when you drop below 60 on ultra settings. So here you drop into the 60s, but again, when you go into the sky, you get into the 100 FPS range, so I don't think it's worth lowering the settings that much. So let me show you super quickly. We put shadows on high, effects on high, we increase the... let's keep the cloud resolution on 512. Anything higher than this is super demanding on the GPU. So we keep it like that. Basically high settings. So high settings. And as you can see, by just lowering that, close to the ground, we drop into the 50s, yeah. But you're not meant to be so close to the ground, at least most of the time. What you usually do is go up. I'm talking about realistic gameplay here. You go a little bit higher and you just chase dots. So yeah, you shouldn't have much of a problem there. As long as you're into, I don't know, 7,000 feet. As long as you're there, it should be fine. As you can see, easily over 100 FPS. So yeah, I would call it more realistic to aim for high settings in this case. Because again, you're not doing close to the ground that much. This is more of a jet fighting game, so yeah. Anyways, how long has it passed? 13 minutes. So you didn't miss much. But we're going to try other cards as well. I don't think lowering the resolution in this case makes a lot of sense. The game is already running fine on 1080p. Again, the thing is, when you're close to the ground doesn't look great because this is a game about jets. So my advice would be just keep it on high settings. Lowering the cloud resolution a little bit helps. So let me show you that super quickly. So if you go into the settings and increase the cloud resolution to 640, you jump from 54 all the way down to 37. So I cannot really recommend cloud resolution at the highest. Just lower it to 512. You apply and you jump all the way from 37 to 54. So yeah, no reason to keep it like that. Just lower the view distance, the effects, and the cloud resolution one step below the maximum. And you're getting basically over 50, even close to the ground. So yeah, hello everyone, I'm Santiago, and today I'm gonna be testing Project Wingman on the 1050 Ti, 750 Ti, 570, 580, 6050 Super. So yeah, remember guys, when close to the ground, you're going to drop into the 50s. But you're not usually close to the ground in this game, although the ground looks pretty terrible. Repeated buildings all over, very basic texture. You can really see that this game is meant to be just flying very high into the air, fighting other jets. So yeah, not much else. I cannot see the enemy. Oh, it's very close to the ground, never mind, that's an anti-air gun. Anybody else? Yeah, we're doing Cyberpunk 2077 105 once it releases. As far as I know, it's not out yet, that patch. So once that patch is released, I'm going to be doing videos on it. But in the meantime, let's do something else. Like this. I don't even know how to release the flares. pretty terrible at this game. Oh, the flare is ready. But how do I launch it? No. Yeah, I should have learned how to control the game. Okay, I released the flares. I haven't seen them. Pretty weird. So yeah, anyways, 1080p is fine. Again, let me show you the settings super quickly. So this is how you get 50 to 60 frames in the worst parts. Yeah, I don't know why some of the buildings look smaller than the plane. Pretty weird. The game is clearly not meant for you to be close to the ground, remember, although this is an indie game. So 1080p, highest native resolution, and we're doing highest settings. Just lower the view distance to high, lower the cloud resolution to 512, the FX to high, and you should be over 50 basically all the time. This is a game where I would recommend 60 frames because you're doing very fast movements. That would be my advice. So yeah, let me show you one more simple level, and then we jump into the 750 Ti. Press both analog sticks. Thank you, Vitor Ferreira. Highly appreciated, man. So let me show you. That was the Conquest mode, which is basically only flying around. But there's also a campaign. So we're going to I'm going to show you very quickly that. Let's put it on normal. It worked in Ace Combat 7. Yeah, well, yeah, this is very similar. It has worse graphics, but it's an indie company. But while you wait for Ace Combat 8, I think it's a good replacement. So let's just skip all this. But it's just to show you a more simple level. This one doesn't have a lot of ground. It's mostly water. You're over water on this one. Again, more realistic to what you will be playing. So let's go right away into the mission. And we select this one. And we launch. 2060 after this. I'm not doing the 2060 on this one. It's doing the live stream. We're doing 1050 Ti, 750 Ti, 570, 580, and 1650 Super. Then we're doing maybe tomorrow something else. But yeah. Anyways. But as you can see here, as I was saying, this is way less demanding. There's only water into the ground. And there's a very tiny piece of terrain into the distance. So this is more what you will be doing in this game. So yeah, that will be my take on this one. It runs okay, but once you're close to the ground, my advice would be lowering the clouds and the draw distance a little bit. So yeah, Cyberpunk 1.5 test. Yeah, once that patch releases, I'll be doing it. At the moment, that's not the case. So yeah, once it's out, I'm going to make videos, of course. Yeah, I'm going to do one of 1.5, but as far as I know, wasn't out. So yeah, tenés headset VR para probarlo. Lamentablemente no, estaría de más, pero lamentablemente no tengo. Some people are asking me about the VR. Yeah, this game does have VR modes, but unfortunately I do not have a VR headset, so no wait for me to test it. But it should be super easy to run on VR. I mean, on a 1050 Ti you can do almost the maximum settings on 1080p, so yeah, it shouldn't be a big issue. Should be pretty easy. So if you're looking for the VR jet fighting game, dot fighting, then this should be super easy to run. Ace Combat 7 the VR missions are pretty basic, and as far as I know they're not on PC. So if you're looking for VR, this should be, again, super easy to run. Whoa. So yeah, as you can see, on a less demanding stage like this one, it runs a lot better. So yeah, let's swap to the 1050 Ti after I destroy this boat. So yeah. Anyways. So let's quit. Should I upgrade from 1050 Ti to a 3060 Ti or the i5 4690K into, I don't know? Well, personally, I would upgrade the GPU first, although you'll be super CPU limited in that case, but you can crank up the resolution and play way more games. So that would be my trade-off. You see a bigger difference by changing the GPU first, and then you change the CPU to something like a Ryzen 5 3600 or 5600X. Something in the range of the 3600 should be enough. So yeah, anyways. It's time to swap the GPU, so we're going to swap to that 750 Ti. That one probably, by lowering the settings to medium, will get 60 frames, but we'll find out soon enough. What the heck? Something weird happened. Hang on, guys. Something weird happened to one of the live streams. What a weird thing. Anyways, so time to swap GPUs. So 1050 Ti is out. Here it is. We put it aside. Over here should be okay. And we put in the legendary 750 Ti. Alright, it's in. Which do you think is better, i3 10100F or Ryzen 3 3100? They are basically on the same range on the performance side, so any of those that you choose should be okay. Just check which has the cheapest motherboard and go for it. Es buena idea tener una 1660 Super con un i3 8100. Por el momento debería aguantar, depende del juego también de lo que estés buscando hacer. O sea, debería alcanzar, pero algunos juegos no van a llegar a 60. Esa es un poco la cuestión. Andamos bien, rata tímida. ¿Cómo andás vos? Qué buen nombre que tenés vos. Qué envidia. Se viene la 750 Ti. Sabelo. Alright guys, so we're almost back into the desktop now. Let's find out. Alright, it's loading the drivers. Okay. So we're back into the PC now. We're on the 750 Ti now. We're going to try probably ultra settings first, then we see what we do. So ultra settings, 1080p. Time to jump into the game. So here should be. All right, Project Wingman. As you can see, as I was saying before, there's a VR mode for Steam and Oculus. So if you have a VR headset, shouldn't be hard to run at over 60 frames. Pretty easy to run, really. Will you run 8K on the 1650 Super? Yeah, sure, let's do it. We're going to try it out, yeah, of course. Se publicó un streaming en tu canal que nada que ver. Dale, lo voy a sacar. Qué cosa tan random. Déjame chequear bien rápido. Yeah guys, I don't know, something super weird showed up in my channel. Let me see if I can fix it. Because I do not have another live stream going. Hang on guys. What the heck? Ok, I deleted that. Muchas gracias, ya lo borré. No sé qué carajo fue eso, re extraño. Se agradece un montón. So guys, some weird live stream showed up in my channel that I didn't make. Super weird, I deleted it, so thank you for the heads up. So we're going to lower the textures to medium. We apply it. Let's put it on high, should be okay. And let's try the highest settings. We're going to tweak it in a few seconds, but for now, let's keep it on ultra. Okay, let's not do that. It's already dropping below 30. So we're going to lower the cloud resolution a little bit. It's usually a big boost. So we jump into Conquest. Bueno, gracias, Matt1X, agradece un montón. Yeah, claim all the games on the Epic Games Store from the 17th. I'm going to make videos on all the free games, so don't worry, guys. I'll be looking into it as usual. It's probably going to be the entire week doing that. If it's a very big game that hang on. If it's a very big game, I'm going to do a live stream testing it. But at the moment, I'm just going to announce the free games. And if it's a hard to run game, I'm going to do a live stream. Have you gone bald? Yeah. Crazy, right? No, not really. I like to do that. It's usually a lot of fun. And since it's summer here in Uruguay, it happens. Hang on, I forgot to turn on the controller. Pretty stupid from myself, but hey. So let's do DS for Windows because I'm using a PlayStation 5 controller. Super enjoyable. All right. We're going to use pink. So as you can see, I have pink going on in the controller. Sí, es cierto lo de Epic. Van a estar dando juegos gratis y Ubisoft también está dando juegos gratis. Alright. So as you can see, almost on the highest settings. Let's get closer to the ground because that's the demanding part. We're already getting 30 frames per second. I just had to lower the clouds a little bit. So as you can see, when close to the ground, I'm getting 30 frames per second. So let's do some tweaks already. So we go into the settings, video. Let's try the lowest settings. Let's try medium, better said. So we put those shadows to medium, effects to medium. We lowered the cloud resolution to 368. Okay, 50s. Let me see if I can improve it a little bit further with low anti-aliasing. Okay, that doesn't change anything at all. Low shadows, maybe. Okay, all right. So medium to low settings, let's call it that. So mid-low settings on 1080p. So as you can see, these are the settings. Let's get back into the game now. Oh yeah, 60 frames per second. So as you can see, it's super easy to tweak. If you wanted to do VR on a cheap GPU, in this game it should be super easy because it's not super demanding on the GPU, and rightfully so. And by rightfully so, I mean that doesn't look particularly photorealistic, and the cloud resolution, as you can see, takes a hit. So yeah, if you're interested in this game, it should be super easy to run. But remember, this is an indie game, so no high budget on this one. But I'm glad that at least it's easy to run. Some games look bad and they are hard to run, while this one isn't. Communications tower, it's done. So yeah, still alive. As you can see, you can do 60 frames on 1080p on this one. Whoa. Yeah, pressing both sticks won't give you flares, I think. Let's see first person. Okay, on first person, as you can see, the game takes a big hit, at least on this card. Yeah, I can see the rain there. So let's see if I can improve this in any way. Alright, yeah. First person, as you can see, big hit to performance on this one. Let's try fixing this up. Alright, let's see, what else can I tweak? Post-processing. Yeah, it doesn't change that much at all. Cloud resolution even further. Yeah, not worth it. Effects on low, maybe. Okay, there was an improvement there, but not a huge one. But I don't want to turn off shadows. Without shadows, the game looks awful. So yeah, let's keep it like this. And we're going to lower the, what's the name of this? The resolution. But again, if you want high settings. If you want 60 frames, at least on the third person view, it's absolutely doable on medium to low settings on 1080p. So yeah, pretty easy to run overall. The thing is, when you go first person, there it takes a big hit to performance, as you can clearly see there. So if you wanted to do first person, it's going to take you a lower resolution to get 60 frames. But hey, if you're a guy like me and likes to play in third person, this should be okay. So yeah, let's try now to get 60s on first person mode. So we're going to pause the game and let's lower the resolution maybe to, I don't know, 900p maybe. Let's see if it improves in any way. Alright, yeah, that was enough. So 900p resolution. That should give us 60 frames on this one, on these same settings as before. In first person, the thing is that the first person camera can be pretty taxing, for this card at least. So 900p medium to low settings, as you can see there. So let's get back into the game now. And as you can see in first person now we're getting over 60 frames per second, which was the problem we were getting in 1080p. So if you change the camera to third person, you get a massive boost to performance. But then if you go first person, it takes a big hit. So now we're dropping into the 40s, upper 40s, low 50s. In my opinion, still fine. But yeah, 900p seems to be the sweet spot to get 60s. Again, personally, I prefer third person camera. But considering the visuals, I think the performance is acceptable. Okay, got him. So yeah, let's swap GPUs now after I destroyed this one. Come on. Alright, got him. Awesome. So yeah, let's swap GPUs now. You can play 1440p Ultra on a 1066 gigs. Yeah, it should be fine. It's not a demanding game at all, considering what we've been seeing in the previous days. And considering the visuals, I mean, it's fine. In my opinion, at least. So let's try now the 570. I probably have to install the drivers for that one. Let me double check that. So 750 Ti to the side. Time for the 570. So 570. Alright. This game reminds me of some old arcade games you used to play at some huge console simulators like. Well, yeah, I mean, there were a lot of first-person jet combat games back then, but they've been pretty rare lately. The only one I remember on top of my head is Combat 7. I think it was 7, which was one of my favorite games that year. But then I heard nothing about jet combat dogfighting games. Well, and Star Wars Squadrons, but that's not something trying to be realistic in any way. So yeah, hang on guys, can install the drivers. Yeah, I do not have the drivers installed for this one. So 1 second, gotta install the drivers for the AMD cards. It takes a little bit of time, so thank you for the patience. Has it tried with the 1650 Super though? Still not, but it's probably going to be 1440p or 4K just fine. So yeah, patience, we're getting there. Gotta install the AMD drivers first. All right. Okay. I think these are the ones. No, they are not. All right. Here they are. So installing the Adrenaline drivers, the latest ones. This game is amazing in VR, puts VR sections of Ace Combat 7 to shame. Yeah, the thing is, oh, Paradise Decay, you're the one that makes the reviews on Steam for VR stuff. Yeah, on VR, the game should be pretty great, but if you're not doing VR, the visuals leave a lot to be desired. Let's keep it at that. So, I mean, at least the game runs fine. But if you don't have a VR headset, it's kind of difficult to recommend from me because you have Ace Combat 7. So yeah, that's my take. Again, still an indie company, but still I'm a little bit disappointed with the visuals. Although it's easy to run for VR, so good to know that VR enthusiasts can play it. Sergio, ya hice la 1050 Ti y la 750 Ti. Ahora estoy usando la 570. Estoy instalando los drivers. So guys, I already did 1050 Ti and 750 Ti. We're doing 570 now, but I'm installing the drivers, so it takes a little bit of time. Patience. And what else? What was I saying? Oh yeah, on the 1050 Ti, we were able to do 1080p 60 by lowering the clouds from the highest to 512 and lowering the resolution of the shadows a little bit. That gave us basically 60 frames on demanding places. When you're flying around, it's usually okay. When you're flying very, very high, and when you get closer to the ground, it's usually where performance drops. So yeah, hang on. I'm going to swap out that the driver's installed. Gotta swap to the HDMI cable. Oh yes, you are? Okay. Yeah, I always see your reviews when there's something VR related. Super accurate, and you also make videos. So guys, if you're interested in VR, follow Paradise Decay. He does some reviews on VR games and how they look and perform on a 2070 Super. So highly recommended if you are into VR. He gives good explanations, at least in my opinion. Alright, so we're back into the PC now. I just installed the drivers, so let's skip this. I'm going to do some tweaks for the capture card to look good. So we do GPU scaling, and we're going to change the color range, the pixel format to full RGB, so the capture card keeps the colors correctly. There we go, looks a lot better now. So we launch MSI Afterburner, and now we jump straight into the game. Project Wingman. Sí, ya estoy justo a tiempo para la 570. Sí, tal cual. So 1080p. We're going to start with maximum settings and we work our way up, our way down. So ultra settings. Let's see how it goes. No, man, thanks to you. You do good stuff. Again, I forgot to turn on the controller. This is getting annoying. DS for Windows. Let me see if I can make it open up on its own. Yeah, that should do. Run as startup. There you are. Okay. So now the controller is running. I always forget to turn it on. So there we go. So we go to the settings, video, we select 1080p. Let's go to the highest settings. And what else? Oh, almost forgot about the FPS counter. So there we are. And what else? Let's jump straight into the conquest mode. The extra VRAM should give it a kick. Well, yeah, probably, especially when there are effects close to the camera. All right, let's go. Yeah, it doesn't look that great, but I mean, as long as it's fun and it runs properly, it should be okay. I'm already dropping into the 50s. Let's be closer to the ground first. So, here we go. Do not do this in real life, guys. It's dangerous. So as you can see, I'm already below 60 frames per second. How do we fix it? Easy. Go into video, lower the clock resolution from 640 to 512. And that gives us a 20 FPS boost, basically. So, clouds at 512. So by doing that, you get a massive boost, as you can see. When they are at 640, we get below 60. We apply 612, and we get like a 15 FPS boost. So no reason not to lower that. They look a little bit blurrier, but still. So as you can see, that's how you get 60s in third person. Oh, now it's raining out of nowhere. Anyways, let's swap the camera to first person. And there, as you can see, we get a hit to performance, but we're still into the 60s mostly. So again, if you're going VR on this one, should be okay. Super easy to run. You don't need graphics every time, man. Graphics aren't everything. You can have great graphics and a terrible game anyways. So yeah, don't guide yourself on games only by graphics. That's how you do not do it. If you're guiding yourself on graphics, well, I'm sorry, but you're going to be pretty lost in the gaming space by going only that way. But yeah, this game is not photorealistic, it's not the best looking game, but it runs fine considering the visuals. And again, indie game, so keep on check your expectations. Alright, so yeah, as you can see, it runs okay on 1080p. Oh, interesting. When I'm below the clouds, I get rain, but when I'm over the clouds, there's no rain. That's pretty cool. I haven't paid attention to that before. Interesting. Yeah, this is on the other side. So... Hi, how are you doing, man? Good seeing you there. Let's see, where's the objective? Still looking. There you are. Alright, got him. So yeah, as you can see, it runs okay on 1080p. Let's try very quickly 1440p and then we swap to the 580. So time to swap to 1440p. So 1440. Yeah, take Minecraft as an example. Yeah, true. Completely true. I agree completely. Alright, so Let's see, 1440p. Oh, I forgot to change the status to 1440. So 1440p resolution, we're getting 50s, and in first person we're getting 40s. So time to do some tweaking to get 60s. So we lowered the resolution of the clouds a little bit more. We lowered the shadows to low. All right. And the distance to high. And the effects to medium. Okay, I went a little bit too far. Hang on. No, I think that's fine. So medium to high settings. So mid-high. And that should do it at 1440p. Yo, how's it going, man? Good seeing you there. Out of all of your cards, which one has surprised you the most? Probably a 1650 Super, despite the 4 GB of memory. It's doing okay on most games, despite the memory limitation. Of course, it depends on the game. For example, on Godfall, it was a god-awful performance due to the video memory. But it still surprised me on most games, considering the amount of memory. So yeah. Anyways, as you guys can probably see, even in first person I'm getting over 50 frames, and in third person is fine. You're getting 80s. So you can do 1440p just fine. If you got a 1060, should be basically the same as this. A little bit better maybe. I think this is Unreal Engine 4, so Nvidia is usually benefited. Yeah, I'm not going to hit that from this distance, there you are. So yeah, you can even do 1440p just fine. Which I would highly recommend, even on a 1080p display, so you don't see any rough edges, let's call it that way. Hay una mejora entre el 3100 y el 3500X. El 3500X en general debería darte mejores resultados, pero yo a ese momento ya iría por un 3600 si es posible. Así que sí. When will Fall Guys benchmark come? It's a very fun game. When I get it, I have a lot of stuff coming, and I want to go back to doing multiple games on a single video. I want to do a 2060 with a Ryzen 3 3100 and see how that fares against new games, maybe 15 games or something like that. And then do 1650 Super on a 3100 on many games as well. I want to focus a little bit more on that while I wait for the Cyberpunk patch. So yeah. Anyways, let's hop to the 580 now. This, I mean, not much to say really. Runs okay with some tweaks. You can do 1080p with almost the highest settings. And then you can also do 1440p. Alright, got them. So let me show you the settings for 1440p. On 1440p, just do it like this, a mix between medium and high. And then if you're doing 1080p and 160s, lower the cloud resolution from 640 to 512, and you're good to go. The game runs fine. So let's get back into 1080p here. And we max it out for the 580. The 580 should be able to do almost the same as this. So let's apply this. And get out of the game. So we shut it down and we swap to the 580 now. So 580, almost there. So here's the 570. Let's put it to the side. And time to put the chunky 580 in. And we're going to put a screw because if not, we're going to get a broken PCI Express slot soon. Due to how heavy this card is, it's ridiculously heavy. But it gets the job done. So yeah. Sí, está muy bueno el juego. Hasta ahora me está gustando bastante. Considerando, o sea, los gráficos no es todo lo que importa, pero gráficamente se queda bastante atrás en la parte de los terrenos. Pero fuera de eso está bastante bien, está bastante entretenido. So guys, so far what I've been playing of the game, it's fun. I like dogfighting games like Ace Combat. So that's probably why I like it. But at the same time, the graphics are not that great when you are very close to the ground. The trees are basically non-existent. It's like a grass texture pasted there. Then if you're close to a city, the city is the same building repeated multiple times. So that's what disappoints me. But when you're flying around, fighting other jets, it's completely okay. It holds up graphically in that regard. But then in some other parts, it's like a mixed bag. Let's call it that, a mixed bag, graphically speaking. But at least the game runs fine. So we enable GPU scaling. Yes, I'm from Uruguay, Federico. I'm from Uruguay, yeah, that's right. So here we select full RGB and GPU scaling, so the capture card doesn't have any trouble showing the correct colors. And we're going to go to MSI Afterburner. And as you can see here, the card, by default, this triple fine card is at 1411 MHz. We're going to keep it at 1366. Since most 580s go to this by default. So let's launch the game again. Thanks, Lali10dudas. Highly appreciate it, man. Why are you so racist? I'm not racist at all. So, that's bait. Estoy de acuerdo. Visualmente el terreno deja que sea, pero sin duda es un juego divertido. Sí, tal cual. One of my friends joined a Flat Earth group on Facebook. That's hilarious. What is this game? Looks interesting. This is a dogfighting game, like Ace Combat, but it's from an indie company that likes Ace Combat. But graphically speaking, the terrain needs work. But then when you're flying around, it looks pretty decent and it runs fine. So yeah, if you like Ace Combat, this should be right up your alley. So let's keep it on 1080p there and jump straight into the game. Bueno, saludos Federico, hermano argentino. Ah, me alegro que te haya servido mi contenido. Hello from Russia, well, hello from Uruguay. If you're actually from Russia, that's hilarious. Run 4K on it. Yeah, I'm going to try 4K in a bit. Patience. Gotta show you first 1080p, then 1440p. Alright, going closer to the ground, that's when we get a drop to performance. So we get super close to the ground. Again, as I was saying, the ground leaves a lot to be desired. But still, when you're flying very high, you're not really noticing it. Alright, it appears to be at 60 just fine, even when on first person. But still, due to the difference we have with clouds lower to 512, I mean, no reason not to lower cloud resolution to 512, so make sure to do that. As you can see, we get like a 20 FPS boost or 15 FPS boost. This is ultra settings on 1080p, sorry guys, I forgot to change it. So 1080p resolution, ultra settings, clouds 512. And I'm going to fix the FPS counter. So that's how you do it. That's how you get 60s on this one. Just keep everything maxed out, lower the cloud resolution to 512, and that should do the job. As you can see. So yeah, pretty easy to run, as you can see. Easy to get over 60 just fine. Hola, ¿todo bien y vos? ¿Cómo andás? Hakwe. Hello Santiago, good streaming. Well, thanks. I was waiting for another one of yours. Steam pop up suddenly. Well, yeah, you're wandering around. Well, I'm glad you got to this place. Good to see you here. I hope you're having a fantastic day, man. Okay, I think I'm going to get to this one. Gotcha. So yeah, as you can see, 1080p is fine. Like expected, really. Let's get a flare out. A lot of AA guns in places that there shouldn't be any. Alright. Whoa. ¿Se me corrió el FPS counter? No, no, está bien. Está correcto. So guys, as I was saying, it runs fine on 1080p even. So let's go for 1440p like we did with the 570. I'm probably going to restart this level to get something with more stuff going on. This one didn't seem to be super demanding. If you have time, please test Valhalla with latest updates. Yeah, I'm going to do it soon. I'm also doing Cyberpunk 2077 with the version 1.05 once it's out. Yeah, there are reports of performance loss. Really? That's super disappointing. So yeah, we're going to be trying it eventually. I also like trying different things, like these indie games. Alright, we pull up. Okay. There's more stuff. Yeah, now this makes more sense now. So yeah. Anyways. Yeah, this runs worse than the part we were just now. And for some reason the shadows are flickering. That's not great. Oh, I forgot to mention, for the people that just joined, in first person the game drops frames like crazy in comparison to third person. So if you're doing that first person, make sure to lower the settings if you have a lower end card. As you can see, here we get 65, 64, and third person, hang on, 50s. And here we get over 60 just fine, just by swapping from third person to first person. So yeah, anyways, let's do 1440p now that we're here. Bueno, Agustín Suárez, se agradece el soporte. El support. So 1440p now. Let's get there. So as you can see on 1440p, already below 60 frames. That's fine, I guess. Let's see how it holds up. I'm probably going to lower a couple things. Maybe the shadows, let's put it on medium. We get a couple extra frames. Let's see, low. Yeah, let's keep it on medium. View distance on high. So we lose some detail there. But again, 1440p. So call this a mix between high and very high. So this would be high, very high, mostly at 1440p. So yeah, let's keep it like that and see how it goes. So we're getting, okay, below 60 now. We're back into the 60s. Yeah, it seems to be okay. We're going to try first person now. But it seems to be, at least in third person, it appears to be fine. Including when you're close to the ground. Yeah, the thing is, when you're super close to FX, it drops pretty bad. I'm probably going to drop the FX. Let me see how much I can drop it. Let's put it on medium. Okay, medium FX. So let's call this mid-high. That will be more realistic. So mid-high settings at 1440p. Okay, yeah, we got a massive boost there. And even in first person, we're over 50 frames. When effects show up, it likes to drop. And now the shadows seem to be fixed. I'm seeing, never mind, I'm already seeing the flickering again. But yeah, even in first person we're getting 50 to 60, so good stuff. Let's swap to third person. It makes me uncomfortable to go first person on jet fighting games. It's a little too much for my brain. Alright, got him. So yeah, 1440p, completely doable. Makes complete sense though, because it was running at 1440p on the 570. Let's see if I can get him. Oh, I failed. Let's see if I can see it that way. There we go. Got him. Maybe I can hit him from a distance. There, I got him. Them skills. I don't know how to swap targets though. Nope, missed. Oh. Missile alert. Flares. So yeah, anyways, 1440p is fine. Let's try 4K close to the ground. You get 30 FPS on medium. In which game? In this one? Santiago, did the performance of Red Dead 2 get better after updates on the 1050 Ti? No, it didn't really change that much. If you play online though, the online portion is super taxing. So keep that in mind for Red Dead 2. It got worse on the online, but in the single player it was fine. So 4K now. Let me swap the size of the overlay so you can read it. Hang on. 1, 2, 3. There we go. So now you should be able to actually see the FPS counter. So we're now at 4K. So 4K. 4K resolution on medium to high settings. And we're getting 30 frames per second. And when you're in third person, you're getting low 40s. But the game looks super sharp. Yeah, at 4K, from 1440p to 4K, I can definitely see a big difference in image quality, which makes sense. It's a much higher resolution, but the performance is significantly worse. So let's see if I can get 60s by changing a couple settings. Hang on, we're going to try that out. So we're lowering the cloud resolution to 368, 256. Okay, this doesn't seem to change that much. Let's keep it at 368. Shadows on low. Okay, we get a boost there. Anti-aliasing doesn't change that much in this game in particular. Medium draw distance, low post-processing, and low effects. Okay, we didn't get a huge boost, but definitely an improvement. Without anti-aliasing, we just lose 1 FPS. We win 1 FPS. I'll probably have to disable the shadows, but I don't want to do it. The game looks a lot worse without shadows, so I don't think it's worth disabling. So let's keep it like this. Low to medium, mid-low settings. So low-mid. Low-mid settings. Santiago, GTX 1080, 8 GB or 1660, 6 GB. Personally, I would go for the 1080, without a doubt. So yeah, that would be my advice. Alright, so at 4K with low-mid settings, we're getting 40s in the cockpit, and in third person we're getting 60s, 50 to 60. So yeah, if you're playing third person, you can do 4K. Although, considering the visual difference, I'd rather play at 1440p or 1080p. So yeah. Does DSR improve image quality? Yeah, if you use DSR, for example, you're doing 4K or 1440p on a 1080p display, yeah, the image quality will improve because you're basically doing very intensive anti-aliasing, which is downscaling. So you're taking a very high resolution and cramming it into a lower resolution monitor. So the game will be without any jaggies at all. Okay, with the explosions on screen, I'm getting drops into the 30s. And here drops into the 40s, so yeah, you're not getting 60s at 4K on this one. At least not in this card. So yeah, time to swap to the 1650 Super now. As you can see, 4K, not really recommended. Yeah, the game does look better, but I don't think it's worth the performance hit. I'd rather do 1080p with lower cloud options. So, okay. Time to swap to the 1650 Super. Do you use DSR for resolution? No, I have a 4K monitor. Because if I use DSR, I cannot show the real resolution on the capture card. The capture card wouldn't be outputting the correct resolution. That's basically why. But the performance should be basically the same as doing native 4K, so keep that in mind. I just have a 4K display to be able to show the correct resolution on the capture cards, just a technical stuff on my side. So yeah, hang on, I'm going to swap GPUs. All right. So 580 outside of the PC. Time to put the 1650 Super, as you can see here. So turning on the PC. Yeah, time to do 1650 Super. We're doing 1080p, 1440p, and 4K. I'm expecting higher frame rates on this one. I think this is an Unreal Engine 4 game. Let me see. Yeah, Unreal Engine 4. So this game is probably going to run better on the Nvidia side. We'll see. Remember, we're not getting 60s on the 580 at 4K. At least not when clouds are covering. So yeah, we'll see. But in general, it appears to run fine. Yeah, not great terrain, personally. But when you're fighting into the air, it looks pretty good, I would say. It's just that the terrain is pretty bad looking. Hello, Jung TRX ST. How are you doing, man? Good seeing you there. So we're now back into the PC now with a 1650 Super. So time to do 1080p on ultra settings. That's what we're doing as of right now. So we launch the game. Where is it? There you are. And I connected the controller. I have a PS5 controller hooked to this PC. I have a question. Can I stream on i3-9100F and 1650? If you use the NVIDIA encoder NVENC, you should be able to, but make sure to lock the games at 60 frames per second and that the games do not use all your CPU. So if you're doing a CPU heavy game, make sure to limit it to 60. You should be able to do CSGO at 60 frames. What else? League of Legends, you should be able to do it. Maybe Rainbow Six Siege, if you're lucky. Maybe with a 60 frames cap, you can do it. So yeah, that would be my advice. Okay, yeah, I'm already seeing a boost in the options menu. So let's get back into the game. Conquest. So yeah, anyways. Why does the Zotac 1650 Super look so small? Because it is. It's a super tiny card. It has two tiny fans. All right. So time to get back here. Let's see how it goes. It's probably going to be a lot better than the AMD cards. It usually happens on the Unreal Engine 4 titles.
Got a positive contact on hostiles. You know what to do.
Yeah, no, I'm doing daytime, not nighttime. So let's try that again. It seems to be random in the levels you're doing. Ace Combat 7 or this one. If you're doing virtual reality, this one. If you're not doing virtual reality, Ace Combat 7. Without a doubt. Let's try that again. Come on. There you are. Still not what I was looking for. Something with more trees, please. Or a city. How do you switch from GPU to GPU? I turn off the PC, I grab the GPU, and I put another one. I have two computers. One to do the live stream, and another one to do the live stream. So two computers, so I don't have to end the live stream each time I swap GPUs. And I use a capture card to get the image from the other PC. Alright. A lot of clouds. Probably something interesting in the ground. Let me see. Come on. Warning. Whoa! Yeah, do not do what I do. Do not go super fast into the ground. That was super stupid. Yeah, the clouds sometimes make you forget. Total score 0. Yeah, of course. That was funny. Let's try that again. How stupid. Yeah, super crazy what you can do if you cannot see the ground. How dumb. Let's try that again. Hey Santiago, would you advise to get a 578 gigabytes or a 584 gigabytes? Personally, I would aim for the 578 gigabytes due to the extra memory. The 580 would be faster, yeah, by a few frames, but the extra memory really makes a difference in newer games. Alright, so as you can see guys, yeah, the repeated buildings, again the terrain, yeah, pretty hit or miss. As you can see, this is the same building, and for some reason the plane is much bigger than the building in some of them. So yeah, I mean, pretty disappointed with that. The quality of the terrain is pretty spotty. Sometimes it looks good, sometimes, most of the time, not that great. Again, it's a flying game by an indie company, so most of the detail goes into the planes and into the effects. But still, when you're looking at the ground, yeah, not great. So as you can see, even on the highest settings, on the 1650 Super, I'm getting over 60 frames just fine, even without the cloud tweak. So if you put the clouds on 512, which look almost the same, you jump all the way from 92 to over 100. So my advice, no matter which card you have, lower those clouds to 512. You get a massive performance boost. So there's no reason not to lower them, they look almost the same. So yeah, as you can see, just fine on 1080p on the highest settings, and with the cloud tweak. Yeah, even with effects close to the camera and going first person, it's alright. Alright, destroyed. No worries, Andrew Borja. Glad to be able to help. There you go. So yeah, 1080p is fine, as expected. So let's try now 1440p, now that we're here. So time to swap to 1440. So 1440p, we apply. Was the 750 Ti overclocked? No, not really. It was on stock settings. And now let's change the size of the overlay so you guys can see what I'm doing. All right. So this is now 1440p. I don't think I'll need to tweak settings on this one. It's probably going to be fine, considering the NVIDIA card runs better than the AMD card on this one. So highest settings, cloud resolution on 512. So back into the game. And yeah, we're over 60, even on the cockpit. So at 1440p, just keep it like this. Should be fine. Super easy to run, as you can see, especially on NVIDIA cards. On AMD, it's a little bit worse, but that's probably because it's an Unreal Engine 4 game. That usually happens in some Unreal Engine 4 games. NVIDIA has a big advantage. Well, this is one of them. Yeah, I'm still missing my shots. Hang on. So, oh, I also forgot to mention, first person with the cockpit view runs worse than third person. So keep that in mind. I think I got it. No, I didn't. So yeah, 60 frames at 1440p, highest settings. Good to see. Whoa, I hit the aircraft. So yeah, let's try now 4K. Let's see if we can get 60s at that resolution. So settings, video, 4K, 1440p and 1080p, just fine. Nothing to worry about. So let's swap the size of the overlay. All right. So at 4K with these same settings as before, let's see if we can get over 30 all the time. Then we try to do 60s. So 4K, ultra settings, cloud zone 512. Okay, 30 frames per second. And the game looks significantly sharper. Yeah, I'm still missing that shot because it's... Let's get the blurs out. So yeah, 30 frames per second at 4K. Almost the highest settings. Let's destroy this once and for all. Finally. Got him. Hell yeah. So as I was saying, 4K significantly sharper, as you can probably see. But you get a big performance hit. Let's try getting 60 frames. So we're going to aim to the buildings, into the settings, and we lower the cloud resolution to 368 to get a small performance boost. Shadows effects to medium, shadows on medium, maybe shadows on low. Okay, good improvement. Post-processing on low, and the view distance on medium. Oh, effects on low, I forgot about that. Okay. So let's call this what? Low mid. Yeah, low mid settings. There we go. So 4K resolution, low mid settings. Let's give it another try. Okay, so at 4K, at least in the cockpit view, we are over 50 FPS, sorry. With drops into the upper 40s. Let's see, third person. Okay, third person is over 50 more often. Let's try not to hit any buildings. So yeah, it's an improvement, but still not 60s like the 580. So if you wanted to do 4K 60, maybe not in these levels. I'd rather do 1440p, just like the 580. So yeah, it's an improvement over the 580, but not a huge one. Still, seems to be running better on Nvidia cards so far. So yeah. Yeah, we're going to try 8K. Yeah, I forgot about 8K. Let me see if it's in the list. It's probably there. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, let's do 8K, but before doing that, let's put it on the absolute lowest settings, because if not, we're going to have some issues. Whoa, on the lowest settings, it looks awful. Jesus Christ. So, lowest settings, and we do 8K after this. Just before, let's try 4K. Yeah, if you make the game look like a super old game on the lowest settings, yeah, not worth it in my opinion to put lowest settings. The draw distance is very poor and there are no shadows, but you get 60 frames. Again, do 1440p highest settings, clouds on 512, and the game looks much better. So let's go to 8K now. So we're going to close the game, increase the size of the overlay. Let me check if I have 8K here. I do not. So we open the NVIDIA control panel. This is how I do 8K on a 4K screen. Just enable DSR like any normal person. Hey, how are you doing, Pedo? How are you doing, man? Long time no see. It's been a while. I hope you're doing great, man. So DSR. Let's put it on 4x native resolution. So this will give us basically 8K, as you can see. Hang on, I forgot to apply it. So 8K. Probably going to be VRAM limited, but such a tiny... Oh my god, I cannot see anything. The text is so small. Holy hell. I cannot see anything at all. Such a tiny cursor. Okay. Wish me luck. 8K. Yeah, probably going to be VRAM limited, but this is at 4K though. Once I select 8K, we're going to see for reals. So time to enable 8K. So settings, video, 8K. Yeah, it doesn't work. I have to use borderless full screen, like on the other games, to do 8K. Yeah, I can already feel the lag. Yeah, black screen. I don't think this is going to do it. Yeah, we get a black screen like on the other games. Oh man. Gotta love when 8K doesn't work, because it's such a high resolution. We're so successful that we play 8K. Let's close the game, because I cannot do anything. Oh my god, such a tiny cursor. I cannot see anything. Let's try that one more time. Not even 10 FPS. 0 FPS. What's up, MJ Deyao? Sorry if I messed that up. I hope you're doing fine, man. Good seeing you there. Let's see, so the game should be launching in 8K, but probably going to be a black screen, like before. Let's go! Yeah, just a black screen. So 8K on this one doesn't seem to be possible in any way. So yeah. F for the 1650 Super. It cannot do 8K. What a disappointment. Worst card ever. 1 out of 10. Yeah. 8K. F in the chat for the 1650 Super. It cannot do 8K. What a waste. What a waste of card. Let me try one more time. Maybe we are lucky. Who knows? Yeah, 1 FPS like in Worms. Yeah, basically, same engine, so would make a lot of sense. Okay, I'm getting some sound now. And we're getting 0 frames per second. So, if you were wondering, yeah, we're getting 0 FPS. 0. 0 FPS. Oh no. Yeah, let's go back to 4K. Because 8K... Yeah, I mean, look at that. Absolutely unplayable. Alright, let's try going 8K once more. Okay. Yeah, it's frozen. And it's using all the memory. So, guys, maybe you cannot see this, but take a look at the video memory. The video memory is completely maxed out at 4 gigabytes. It's probably going to be a lot higher. This is why the 3090 has, what's the name of this? So much video memory. I mean, look at this video memory usage at 8K. 4 gigabytes. And we're getting basically 0 frames per second because it's stuck at 7 FPS. So completely frozen. Okay, black screen. It's dead. There, I said it. Okay, never mind. We got an image. So yeah, 1 FPS. It's probably going to be faster if you guys just grab a pen and paper and draw each frame by hand. So yeah, 0 frames per second. 0 frames per second. Just, yeah, not going to work. So yeah, I'm going to end the live stream. But before that, let's talk about this game. What I like about this game, if you like dogfighting, like on Ace Combat, this will be fine. It'll be great, actually, because it's just like that, but from an indie developer. But the ground quality, the quality of the terrain is super low. There's a big texture, muddy textures. The trees don't look that great. The city areas are the same building repeated multiple times in different sizes. And yeah, so the terrain doesn't look great at all. But then the plains, the effects, the clouds, the sky, that looks great. The thing is the terrain looks bad. So, well, the water doesn't look that bad, but the terrain is super low quality. So yeah, that would be my critique. But the gameplay is fine. I've been having fun destroying other planes, just like Ace Combat. And if you're doing virtual reality, VR, you get this is way better than Ace Combat 7 on the VR standpoint. So if you have a VR headset, just get it if you like dogfighting games. If you do not have a VR headset, I'll recommend Ace Combat 7. But if you finish that one, play this one. This is a good replacement while you wait for the new Ace Combat. And it's from an indie developer, so support indie developers, please, so we get niche games like this one. So yeah, this is more of a niche nowadays. So yeah, I'm going to close the game now because it's 1 FPS, and I'm going to thank the members because yeah, the live stream is basically over. So let's force close the game. Bye bye. And let's thank the members now. So we're going to swap to 4K again. Ah, my eyes, a lot better. So you can now see my screen actually. So let's remove all this. And let's go directly into content. And what else? Monetization, memberships. And there you are. So if you're a tier 2 member on this channel, you're going to be mentioned at the end of each live stream. So thank you so much to Gavi Asiatis, Gamer Rats, Crew 11 Raven, Unlike, Official Marlow 2000, Coconuts, Avisek Mukherjee, Rodrigo Duarte, Christo Gavetjob, Sonak Das, and Ken for being awesome supporters 2.0. Thanks to all to you guys watching this live stream and also the awesome supporters 1.0. So yeah, that's the end of the live stream. If you're interested in the game, make sure to check it out on Steam, Project Wingman. I have a lot of fun playing it. I hope you had as much fun watching me doing it. So yeah, thank you guys so much for checking out this live stream, and I'll see ya next time.